How many times have you set a goal for yourself? Whether it be studying for an exam, practicing an instrument, keeping your room clean, or working out, only to give up after just 2 weeks. We always start off strong, fueled by our excitement and motivation, ready to excel at this new, chosen endeavor. But then life gets in the way. You miss one day, then another, and before you know it, that goal is just another thing you tried to do but never actually did. But why does this even happen? And more importantly, can we prevent it from happening? Hello everyone, my name is Rithvik Burki, and I'm here to show you that the answer is yes. It stems from something that many of us love: games. Video games keep people hooked for hours. We level up in our game, we climb leaderboards, and so on. And we push ourselves further, not because we have to, but because we want to, we choose to. So then what if we could take that same joy and excitement we get from those games and simply apply it to our personal growth and development? What if we can, say, gamify our goals, turning them into fun and rewarding challenges, and more importantly, sustainable in the long run? Today, I'm here to show you how you can integrate these gamification principles into your everyday life in order to make self-improvement not just easier, but something you look forward to every day. Now, gamification at its core is simply taking aspects of video games, such as competitions, leaderboards, milestones, and streaks, and simply applying it to your everyday life in order to engage and motivate you to achieve your goals. It doesn't change the effort required, it simply reframes how our mind perceives it, making the goals seem more engaging. Take working out, for example. It's something that many of us hope to do, but it's very hard to do it consistently, especially on days when you're feeling down. But what if instead of seeing it as a chore, we treated it like a game? Imagine earning points for each workout, or competing with your friends on a leaderboard. Suddenly, something that once felt boring and unappealing now seems fun and rewarding. By incorporating gamification, we transform the task of achieving our goals into a fun and engaging experience. Let me share a personal example of this. A few months ago, my mom got a new book and she was very excited and eager to read it. She kept the book on her nightstand and every day she would read it before going to bed. A few months passed by and I assumed she had finished the book, so I decided to ask her how it was and what it was about. However, I was shocked to learn that she was still on the second chapter. I wondered how this could even be, especially after seeing her excitement in getting the book, so I asked her what happened. She said that even though she knew the importance of the book, there was always something that came up and took her time. She also felt the book was long and she couldn't see the progress she was making. And that's when it clicked. Even though it was her goal to ultimately finish the book and she did see the value of it, there was no excitement or sense of achievement along the way, causing her interest to slowly die out. And this is something we've all felt at one point. Goals that lose their excitement become hard to stick with because we don't see our progress. So what could she have done and how could she have gamified this? The first step is milestones, taking large goals and breaking them into smaller achievable tasks and rewarding yourself for that progress. The majority of us lose motivation because our goals seem overwhelming and hard to reach. Without checkpoints, it's easy to just get discouraged and give up. Gamification solves this by turning progress into a series of smaller wins. Similar to how in a game you earn rewards and level up on the way to beating the game. My mom only focused on the distant finish line. Instead, if she decided to break it into smaller milestones, such as reading 10 pages per day, and then rewarding herself for that, whether it be taking a relaxing walk or watching an episode of her favorite show, she would have made that journey engaging rather than a burden. But how could you apply this? For kids, studying for exams can feel quite tedious. But by breaking it into smaller milestones, such as breaking it into one unit every day and completely understanding and focusing your full effort onto that one unit, and then rewarding yourself, whether it be working on a hobby or taking a break, you reinforce that entire habit. For adults, for example, if you're trying to create a business, going straight into just creating a website will become overwhelming. Instead, again, if you break it into smaller milestones, such as researching the market or drafting a business plan and designing a logo, you are able to make steady progress without burning yourself out. The second step is visual progress. Milestones break goals into smaller goals, but actually being able to visualize your progress makes your goals feel real. In games, similar to how a progress bar increasing keeps players engaged, by tracking your achievements through checklists, charts, or apps, you gain a strong sense of momentum. If my mom, for example, could have decided to track her reading by marking off each chapter and putting it on a goal board or logging the number of minutes she read the book. If she had a visual representation of her progress, each chapter would have felt more like a win rather than a chore. And visuals could be anything. For example, if you are a student studying for a test, you could have a progress bar that increased as you completed study sessions, or a calendar showing what you studied each day, or again, logging the number of minutes you spent studying. Someone else who might be trying to learn a language could use a language learning app to see their statistics, or they could have a vocabulary list that showed all their mastered words. Reaching milestones feels satisfying, but actually being able to see the amount of work you did to get to where you are at that moment makes the journey even more rewarding. Number 3 is my personal favorite, competition. Competition drives the human's natural desire to challenge ourselves and others. It brings a sense of excitement and accountability, similar to climbing up a leaderboard in a game. My mom could have come to me and said, "Why don't we see who could finish our book the first?" Or she could have said she would tell me every day what she learned from the book, so I keep her accountable. In both of these scenarios, that type of friendly rivalry would have made us each do our personal best because we want to win, and we'll be able to push that extra effort so that we win. Students, if you're feeling down before studying for a test, by challenging a friend of yours, saying, "Hey, let's see who could get the better grade," both of you now become motivated and driven to beat your friends. You want to win, and you'll, again, put that extra effort to allow that to happen. For adults, if it's productivity or fitness goals or so on, bringing competition adds a sense of excitement. It makes achieving goals into an active challenge. Ultimately, competition brings a sense of excitement, urgency, and accountability that makes you accomplish your personal best. And lastly is streaks. Streaks turn consistency into motivation. The concept of a streak is simple. It simply shows how many days in a row you have done something for. For example, if you have kept your room clean for 30 days, it'll show 30. And you are now driven to not, on the 31st day, not clean your room because you've worked so hard to come to this point. And that's the beautiful thing about streaks. The longer the streak, the more motivated and driven you are to keep it safe. You do not want to lose it. Another example is if you practice an instrument for 90 days, even on the 91st day, if you're feeling a bit down and don't want to study, and don't want to practice your instruments, because you know that you've worked so hard, you don't want to just lose that all just because you were feeling a bit lazy, and you will go yourself and put in that extra work to reach that goal. Ultimately, by combining these 4 gamification principles, milestones, visualizing progress, competitions, and streaks, you turn achieving your goals into an engaging experience. So the next time you're procrastinating on that test, or leaving that book unread, or skipping workouts again, take a break and take a pause and realize. Break your goals into milestones so you don't get burnt out. Visualize your progress so you can see just how far you've come. Create competition so you motivate yourself and have fun while doing it. And have a streak to push you, especially when on those days that you're feeling down. So the next time you create a goal, don't just commit to it. Make it a game. Because when you're having fun, staying consistent isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Thank you.